Good Monday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, it's a brand new day, it's a brand new week, which means it's yet another opportunity for you to do something amazing. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Monday. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with the one and only Columbus Short. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Monday headlines. In national news, the Associated Press says, for Chauvin's trial attorney, it's all about raising doubt. Derek Chauvin's defense attorney was questioning George Floyd's girlfriend about the couple buying drugs when he abruptly shifted gears for what seemed like an odd question. He presumed the couple had pet names for each other. Under what name, he asked, did she appear in Floyd's phone? Courtney Ross's first smiled at the question, then paused before replying, Mama. The fleeting exchange called into question the widely reported account that Floyd was crying out for his deceased mother as he lay pinned to the pavement, and it appeared to be one in a series of moves aimed at undermining a dominant narrative about Floyd's death, established through bystander video and saturation news coverage and commentary of a reckless, arrogant cop ignoring a man's I can't breathe cries as his life is snuffed out. At another moment in the trial, the attorney asked a paramedic if he had responded to other overdose causes before quickly correcting himself to say overdose calls. Perhaps a simple mistake or an attempt to plant the idea that Floyd's death was an overdose. Expert witnesses for the prosecution have asserted drugs did not kill Floyd. The attorney has repeatedly called the bystanders at Floyd's arrest a crowd and unruly, and suggested there were more people present than seen on camera. He drilled a fire department captain on taking 17 minutes to reach the scene when an ambulance called first arrived much sooner, and he persistently suggested Chauvin's knee wasn't on Floyd's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, as prosecutors have argued, suggesting instead it was across Floyd's back, shoulder blades, and arm. Any good defense attorney has to try and take what you can get, says one expert. Sometimes we say in a trial you want to throw as much mud on the wall as you can and hope some of it sticks. In more national news, Pentagon chief declares ironclad U.S. commitment to Israel. The U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin on Sunday declared an enduring and ironclad American commitment to Israel, reinforcing support at a tense time in Israeli politics and amid questions about the Biden administration's efforts to revive nuclear negotiations with Israel's archenemy, Iran. Austin's first talks in Israel since he became Pentagon chief in January come as the United States seeks to leverage Middle East diplomatic progress made by the Trump administration, which brokered a deal normalizing relations between Israel and several Arab countries. By coincidence or not, the defense secretary arrived as Iran reported that its underground nuclear facility lost power just hours after starting up new advanced centrifuges capable of enriching uranium faster. If Israel calls the blackout, it would further heighten tensions between the two nations already engaged in a shadow conflict across the wider Middle East. Iran called it an act of nuclear terrorism, but did not immediately blame anyone directly. In business news, business faces tricky paths navigating post-Trump politics. For more than a half century, the voice emerging from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce was predictable. It was the embodiment of American business and, more specifically, a shared set of interests with the Republican Party. The party's bond with corporate America, however, is fraying, says the Associated Press. Fissures have burst open over the GOP's embrace of conspiracy theories and rejection of mainstream climate science, as well as its dismissal of the 2020 election outcome. The most recent flashpoint was in Georgia, where a new Republican-backed law restricting voting rights drew harsh criticism from Delta Airlines and Coca-Cola, whose headquarters are in the state, and resulted in Major League Baseball pulling the 2021 All-Star Game from Atlanta. That extends an opportunity to President Joe Biden and congressional Democrats to find an ally in an unlikely place when the party has unified control of the federal government for the first time in a decade. And finally, in entertainment news, Nas, Eve, Snoop, and Aaliyah's mom react to death of rapper DMX. Reaction to the death of Grammy-nominated rapper DMX, who died Friday at 50, continues. Earl Simmons was a wonderful, caring father and a sensitive, thoughtful man. Unfortunately, Darkman X took over and ran amok, said a former executive at Def Jam in a statement. My dog X, I know you are in the place of peace you deserve. I will be forever grateful to have known you, rapper Eve said in an Instagram post. Rest in peace, DMX. I pray for the comfort of your children and loved ones, actor Viola Davis said on Twitter. What they thought was a battle ended up being a family reunion of two dogs who loved everything about each other. Thank you, X, for loving me back. See you when I get there. Rapper Snoop Dogg, who faced off against DMX in a versus battle last year, said in an Instagram post. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Explore fresh ways of observing your world. You may want to begin by finding ways to grow spiritually, or you may want to take chances and seize opportunities for fun. Either way, with a strong sense of confidence and security in your abilities, you can feel both motivated and assertive. You become willing to expand your horizons. Your basic needs are taken care of, so it becomes easier to contemplate integrating other desires into your life. Your world can grow because you have created a good foundation, and it is solid. If you do not have this good foundation yet, begin rebuilding your foundation. Guidance from others that you see as successful. There are always successful people willing to mentor to others. You may have to ask more than once. Just be polite and understand that all successful people are very busy. Today, be ready to branch out into unfamiliar territory as new challenges and opportunities emerge. And enjoy your day.
Columbus Short is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight, right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. When I say the name Columbus Short, you know him as an actor, a producer, choreographer, as well as a recording artist. He's also an author. I had a chance to read his book, Short Stories, taking us into the amazing journey of his life. Here's a bit of our conversation about it.
One of the big takeaways for me is, how people really get to know who you are. Have you kind of found that to be the big thing, that people who even think they know who Columbus Short is, that this book kind of gives them a whole different view?
Absolutely. That was kind of the original reason for doing the book, because I kept my life as private as possible. I'm an old Hollywood kind of guy where, I still believe in mystique. The less they know about me, the more they'll believe whatever characters I'm playing. You know what I mean? They would dive into the roles that I played. What I think tends to happen now in Hollywood is, and not even in Hollywood, is like the world is we're so inside everybody's world. Will and Jada's and everything about, they want to know when you're dating, when you're pregnant, when you're, and it kind of, so when you see them in a movie, you're kind of seeing just that person. You're not seeing the character that they're portraying, unless, they're diving into, a biographical character. So I just felt like for all of my career, I did such a good job of that until, headlines kind of created a narrative, and that was all they got. So, that's what they were left with. And so, this book was not only a process of healing, but it was also Columbus the man writing for Columbus the child that went through a lot.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back with you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.